Good morning again. This is Patty with Get Personal with Patty, and I am going to show you how we use the Budget by Paycheck workbook. Now, a little bit about my family. I'm married 15 years. We have a daughter who's 10, who has mild CP and nonverbal. She gets personal care attendant hours, and that's how we cover her care for babysitting after school, etc. So even though we don't have a large childcare expense, we do if we go above the hours, or on the weekends if we want someone to come and hang out with her for a few hours, we pay them cash. So sometimes you'll see in my budget by paycheck, when I use the box set, my money goes for sinking funds, envelopes, paying of credit cards, and the extra childcare is included in here. Now, for the last year, I've been using the Budget by Paycheck workbook as well as the box set. The Budget by Paycheck workbook we use strictly for our fixed bills. Sometimes gas seeps into this, as well as some household. For the month of November, I wanted to do only $300 in dining out and $300 in groceries. The $300 in groceries was really a little bit more than I did budget that, but whatever's left over from that for November will go into December, because we are going to be away the week of Thanksgiving. And if you've watched some of my other videos, you know that I get on a soapbox about groceries shopping. To me, is just a weekly thing you do out of habit, and it's groceries and dine out is is two of the most budgeted things, that people really are trying to cut back on. Now, so we are a family of 3, and we do get Butcher Box quarterly or every other month that gets all our meats, chicken, steaks, some fish. We even get fish through them. So I've decided in the month of November that I'm not going to go grocery shopping weekly out of habit. And we're just going to, when we have to go to a store, usually on Thursdays, my husband runs out of half and half by Thursday, so I go stop at Walmart, the local super Walmart, on my way home from work, and I get the little things that we need. This past week was $9.53. So even though this channel, I do talk about our budget, and I talk about our home life, and I talk about grocery shopping, I do grocery hauls, you will not see that many grocery hauls in November, because we really honestly haven't had them. We have a lot of food in our pantry and our refrigerator and our freezer, and my goal for November was really to eat out of pantry and freezer. Now, going into December, we'll probably have to do a semi-big haul when we get back from vacation, which we'll do that the first or second week of December. Then you have the holidays. So I'm already planning out what we're going to eat for the holidays, what we want to have around the house for the holidays. We try to eat healthy, but, the holidays are here. The cookies kind of creep in. So that's where we stand on groceries, because I know some of you might be watching my videos and say, wow, you only spent $10 on groceries this week. How could you do that? But I think today or maybe tomorrow afternoon, I'll do a video on what's in our freezer and our pantry, so you can see that we have food in our house, and we're blessed to have food in our house, and we really don't need to go grocery shopping just to go grocery shopping. So just keep that in mind when you're budgeting your following month, like you're already looking toward January and what you want to eat, and meal planning. I think that's all part of the grocery budget. If you meal plan and you know what's happening on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, maybe you will be able to cut that grocery budget. And then dining out, we say $300 a month, and I like to pay cash for it, but in the last week, we haven't paid cash. We've debited it, but I just keep track of it, because I want to be intentional with my money. And that's really, what I've learned in the last 3 years using the budget by paycheck method, is really to be intentional with our spending and the money that we receive. So I'm going to show you our November calendar. So I set this up once a month, and just like in my box set, I set up from Friday to Thursday because I get paid Fridays and he gets paid every 2 weeks. So the budget by paycheck workbook I used for fixed bills, and we get money from his self-employed business, or we take money every 2 weeks to cover our fixed bills. Like everyone else, we have most people anyways, we have a mortgage, we have Comcast internet, we have 2 car payments. 1 car payment gets taken out twice a month. We have life insurance. We had a water bill due this week. We have car insurance. And we have solar. So we have our electric bill comes out once a month. The gas bill for right now comes out of my budget box set, because it's only been anywhere from 25 to 75. When it gets to be a little higher in the winter months, we'll definitely take it out of the joint account. So that's my calendar. It's not that exciting, other than colorful. And again, I try not to spend money out here just willy-nilly. That's really out of the other, my, the box set monies, which is my, income weekly. So really for November start, we had $7.81. Now I'm really trying to build up a cushion in November and December for our joint account, but that's a little harder because we just really try to put in only what we need for that month or that bi-weekly paycheck. So I made a mistake in October and I transferred money to our mortgage account, like $1,000 more. I don't know, I just got confused, so I transferred like $2,000 out. So I have to bring back at least $1,000, but I only brought back $600 to kind of help us this month. So November 4th, open balance was $781. We transferred back $600 from the mortgage. We had Amazon Music, which is a fixed $3.99, and then we had our house cleaner comes every 2 weeks for $100. And you know something? That is never leaving my budget, because that is a treat for me. We have a dog now, and I just feel like it's so worth it to have somebody clean our house for a couple times a month, and it's $100. And then that week we had envelopes of we had a small grocery bill of $43.87. We had gifts. I bought a couple of gifts. They were $11, but I did get $6 back from that. And we had a dine out debit of $22.23. So the first week usually in the month is not a pay week. We usually get paid the second and the fourth week or so. It's like the 11th and the 26th. So we really didn't have that much going on. So then we do get paid on the 11th. And again, I really try to put our bills down first. And I do try to break it down. So right now I'll break down the end of the month, because I've just done the first of the month. Because that way I want to get to a place where I can put our mortgage is $2,600 a month. So and that's a 15-year fixed. We went from a 30-year to a 15, so that's why it crept up a little bit. But we're in our 50s, so in 15 years our mortgage is going to be paid off. So it's just a blessing that we can do that at 15, a 15-year fixed. I never thought we would be able to do that. So I'm very happy about that. So I'd like to get in a habit of putting at least $1,300 every 2 weeks in our mortgage savings account, so we have at least half of it for the next month without, it's not struggling, but having anxiety, panic attack that we have to take $2,600 out of one paycheck. So that's kind of what we do. So this is the 11 paycheck. We rolled over $252.21. And then we took $2,500 as our bi-weekly payment income. And again, here is the cushion. Like, I'm trying to rebuild it. So I started with $50 this week. Our car insurance, we're up to date. We're due for another payment in December. So this is kind of a minimal week. So we didn't pay anything for the car insurance. So I was able to transfer $1,400 into the mortgage account, and that will pay this month's mortgage. Our water bill was due, and that was like $370.71, I believe. So we paid that this week. I think it was $370.71. And then Comcast, we usually pay about $170. We have called them. We have tried to get that reduced. We just live in a state and a town where it's a monopoly. We only have Comcast choice to use Comcast, so they're expensive. And you know what? We don't really do much of anything else like dining out. I mean, we do dining out. I mean, we don't do other things. So, for us, we pay that and it's okay. And then we have our car payment. One car payment comes out every 2 weeks at $200. And then my new Jeep is $351. So that's what I paid this week. Sometimes I do pay like 200 and 200, but this month I just did the 351.52. And then we did have some household expenses, Walgreens, etc. So I'll put that down here in envelopes as a, direct debit versus cash envelopes. Sometimes I take cash out of here, which I think I did this week. But, because I did have, I forgot on the 15th, which I already got. But we got the tax credit. So I do got to add that in here. And so for the tax credit, extra savings. So IRA usually gets 100, but with the tax credit, because we're going away, we put $50 into IRA, and then an ABLE account. It's kind of like a 509B for your college funding for your children. But where Grace is a disabled child, you can do an ABLE account. So you just put money in there. We've tried to put money in there monthly, and then she's 10 now. So when she gets to be 22, she can draw on that account without it affecting any Social Security or disability or whatever she might need, after 22. And so I have started to put money in that. This year was the first year I heard about it. So do a search on Google about ABLE, ABLE. And it's a good opportunity if you have a special needs child to just put money aside. Not saying she won't go to college, not saying she won't go to trade school, but there will be money there available for her when she turns 22. And that's really what it's about, right? There's no forcing kids to do college or etc. They're going to do and be what they want to be. I always tell her, she's nonverbal, but she understands everything I say to her. And I always say to her, she can be and do whatever she wants. She is my hero. She's 10. She's been through more than a lot of people who are 100. So God bless her. She's doing great. This is a picture of her when she was little. But she's 10 now. But isn't she cute? Okay. All right. I'm all right. The world's wrong. Okay. So then I do the same thing in here that I do in the budget box set. I only do it week to week. So like next week on the 19th, we won't have any income coming in, but we'll have a rollover of what is left over in our checking account. Because we'll be away, there probably will not be anything taken out from the 19th to the 26th. So I might not need a tracker for the week, but I might just put it in just to, to show that there is income, etc. So I do the highlight method of what we spend. And down here, there's a little key of what we spend for the week. The fluorescent yellow this month is dine out debit because we did not have a cushion. Usually that's the cushion color. But so already the first week we had a dine out debit of $51.44 and grocery debit of $64.40. Because there was one, like Aldi's was 21 and Walmart November 4th was 33, and then 11/11 was 9.53. Usually we put $60 of cash from my monies in envelopes, but this month we're not doing that because we're just trying to eat from freezer and pantry for the month. So $64.40, and then this week we spent no money on grocery. So kind of that. I don't think we're going to spend any money next week because we're going to be away. So we'll get back, and it's like the 27th. So it'll be less than $100 for groceries this month, and that's okay. Like I said, we do have food in our freezer and pantry. We're not going hungry, so we need to kind of eat that. And then I'd rather eat all the food we have, over a couple months, and then go do a large shop when we need it. We have house cleaning. We have no fix the first week, and household, which is usually Walgreens. We had 48, and then gas. Oh God, gas prices are killing us, aren't they? I know it's, nationwide, but that's a really high expense when you have to put that in your budget. So maybe we don't spend money on groceries this month, but our gas bill has increased 100%. So this is the second week. This is the week that we get paid. So we transferred in $2,500, and then we have the $250 tax credit. So this is, but as you can see, all our fixed expenses, which is the pink, are taken out. Usually the second week of the month as well as the fourth. So we have our mortgage, our car payment. We had water due every 6 months. So that's one envelope that I'd like to start in December, putting cash aside weekly so that in May we can just go and pay the water bill, with a cash envelope. And then my car payment was $351. We also did a household Walgreens for some Tylenol. We took out $160 from cash out of that $250 so we can put toward our New York trip. And then again, out of the $250 tax credit, what we've been doing is the IRA and ABLE. So we don't use that tax credit for like willy-nilly. We put it toward Grace's future as well as our future in our IRA. And then last night we did dine out with friends, so our portion was $44.05. And again, we have the key down below where we add things up so that at the end of the month we can use and I do use this for both, at the end of the month we can use the worksheet, where did my money go? And I also put it on a spreadsheet on Excel in the computer so we can see what our yearly expenses are, and tweak it for next year. That's kind of exactly why I do it. So again, I've always said, and if you've watched my videos, I say that, budgeting has really become my hobby. I enjoy doing it. I enjoy being intentional with my money, spending as well as saving. And I enjoy the Budget by Mom products. I do have the new workbook for January and the box set for my checks to use. It's a preference of what you want to do for yourself and for your family, and you really can't compare, my budget to your budget, where it's all personal. I share on this channel to hold myself accountable for my intentional spending, as well as if I can offer, somebody watches my video and I can offer a little help into their own world of budgeting, I'm here for that as well. So just want to thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a good week. Intentional spending, and blessed to you for Thanksgiving. Let's try to be more thankful this season and intentional. Thanks, everybody.